Hello, everyone. Johnson Sensei here to give you a quick explanation about Google AI summaries. So, a few days ago in class, we had some confusion about what a source is and what kind of sources we can use when we're doing homework or other assignments. So, when I ask you to provide a source, whether it's for research or for a homework answer, I'm asking you to tell me where you got your information. This is for many different purposes, but in the case of a homework assignment, sharing a source allows your group members to find out where you found the information you wrote down and are sharing with the group. You can check with the library for more information on using sources in research, but today I'm just going to very briefly talk about using sources in homework answers and why Google AI Summary does not fit the requirements. So actually, I'm going to get Google to help me do this. Can Google AI Summary be used as a source? Interesting. Even Google says you shouldn't use it. All right, but let's check out why and then check the evidence for this answer. Again, we shouldn't trust Google AI Summary, even if Google AI Summary is telling us not to trust AI. In fact, that's a good sign that we should double check. All right, so the beginning of the overview. No, Google AI Overview should not be cited as a source. Aha! According to the MLA Style Center, so MLA is a type of citation. So they are people who tell students and researchers how to cite or how to reference sources appropriately, how they can tell other researchers, their teachers, and other students where they found their information in the appropriate style and manner. So according to the MLA Style Center, which we can check with this link here, Google AI Summary Overviews are a form of search results and not a work to be cited directly, so it's kind of the same as a search. Instead, if you want to cite information from an AI overview or summary, you should click through to the original source and cite that. So if you see at the very end of each section, there's a little button. This is a link to where that information is from. You can also see them over here, but these are not necessarily in the same order. So you can click here. This is that source, so let's check that source. All right, so should I cite a summary? Oh, it's in fact a perfect answer to my question. No, because search results are not a work. Basically, AI Overview is a fancy type of search. It's not a source in and of itself. So, that is one resource. We can see when it was published. Again, the MLA Style Center is a service or a publishing group that is responsible for telling people how to cite information. You might actually have seen the MLA style in your literature classes. That is where MLA tends to be used. All right, so there's elaboration. This means there's more details on the topic, all right? So first one gives us more information about search results. So AI overviews are essentially or basically summaries generated from a collection of web search results. They are not original works themselves. It's basically just a summary that AI is trying to use to answer your question efficiently. All right, so this source is actually from Google. Google is saying this is not a source. This is just a search result. So Google themselves are saying that Google Summary or AI Summary is not a source. All right. The next section, focus on original sources. So the purpose of AI overviews is to provide an initial overview, so a basic summary of a topic, and to help users find the most relevant sources. So the source that is most useful for you, that is most connected to what you want to find. Therefore, the emphasis should be on the original web pages and articles that provide the information. This one is according to Botify, which looks like some kind of service that they're trying to sell me. So maybe not such a reliable source, but it does connect. Yeah, it looks like this is a source that's trying to sell me something to improve my web service. So maybe not the most reliable source because they're trying to sell me something, but it does confirm what we found in the other sources. So not so bad. Next one, citing original content. When using information from an AI overview, you should cite the specific web pages or articles that the overview is based on. Google Spotify. Spotify is a Google service they're trying to sell me, I see. Explains that AI overviews use generative AI to create summaries, but they are still connected to the original sources. So double checking the source. Again, Spotify, interestingly, is also run by Google, but they're trying to sell me something. So maybe they want me to buy Spotify instead of use AI summaries. Last one, evaluating AI summaries. While AI overviews can be helpful, right, it's important to remember that they are not always perfect. You should always cross-check information. This means double check or check with a different source. So if you find something at one location, check again at another location to see if they can confirm or deny that result. With the original source, and use critical thinking skills, our favorite, to evaluate the reliability of information. If we click that link is from both, right? No, there we go. That is from all of these. Show all. So we've got Vice, we've got Google Help, we've got Spotify again, and the MLA Style Center. So we've got a news source here, Vice, which is an American online style of kind of not so serious newspaper. But they do have some good reporting sometimes. And again, this one's fairly recent, February 13, 2025. We have the author, so we can check their sources later if we need. And they also are citing some other sources as well. So they're citing an article from the Huffington Post, which is generally thought of as a respectable newspaper. And we can go through and look. They're citing Google's website again. And again, similar to the other sources we found. So we are cross-checking here. Multiple different websites and sources have told us the same thing. Always be sure to fact-check with an actual credible source. Don't just rely on the summary. It's giving us lots of advertisements, which isn't very reliable, huh? All right. But again, after you check this summary, you can always keep going down, which I do recommend. For example, the first source they give us is the MLA Style Center again. And we can keep going and finding other references that we can check out. Wired is another online newspaper we could check. But going through and checking for different sources. So this may be helpful for you, but it's always good to check the link. Basically, treat an AI overview the same as you treat Wikipedia. And how should you treat Wikipedia? Well, I have some resources for you about that down in the summary below. So please check that out. All right, I just wanted to add a little bit more information here. What originally inspired me to do this video was first, of course, a student comment. But after that, I actually thought maybe I should ask Google. And I asked in a different browser when I was logged into my account. The first question I asked was, should I use the Google AI summary as a source? A little bit different from the query that I used in the video before. Interestingly, Google AI gave me the same basic idea, no, but it gave me very different details to explain and a little bit more interesting details, I think. Here you can see it says, no, it's generally not recommended to use Google AI Overview as a primary source of information, particularly for academic or professional work. So because we are at university, we are included under academic work. So that applies to us. While AI overviews can provide helpful summaries, they are prone to inaccuracies and can misrepresent information, right? So that wasn't in the explanation we just read earlier. That's quite different information. Even though I got these results within 10 minutes of each other just by using a slightly different prompt and just by using a different browser. In this browser, I was logged into my university account. In the other browser, I was using incognito mode. Unfortunately, I did not save this result except in this screenshot. At least I did that. But you can see at the first one, they are a form of search results, and search results should not be cited as a source. And that is from the same MLA Style Center that we were looking at before. But this is a great example of how not only is AI summaries on Google not a source in and of itself, but the reason or another reason why they can't be used as a source is because it's difficult to get the same information every time. Again, I used the same basic idea. I asked the same type of question, even though my words were a little bit different. But the answer I got was different. So One of the reasons we use sources is so that other people can go and check and see where you got that information if they want to learn more and if they want to make sure that the information itself is trustworthy or reliable. Because an AI summary will not appear the same way when you search again, even with the same terms, that is another reason why it is not suitable as a source, especially for academic assignments. If someone cannot go back and check the source that you used, then it cannot be used as a source in this way. Basically, it fails one of the requirements of using sources. Someone else cannot go check and get the same results. So keep this in mind, and let's go back to the original video. So one last thing I wanted to point out here that we also mentioned in class is here at the very bottom of every Google AI summary that you get, no matter what language you get it in. Generative AI is experimental. That means it's not finished. It is currently being developed. So there are lots of different experimental things in the world. Often we hear this with experimental drugs or medicines that have not been approved to be given to people regularly yet. They're still in experimentation. They're still trying to figure out how it works and how to improve it. So at the very bottom of every result, Google does tell you clearly this is still experimental. This is not perfect. This is not finished. So if you forget everything else, keep that in mind the next time you look at a generative AI overview of any topic. But that will be it from me today. Remember, when you're using a source for your assignments, including homework in my classes, Google AI overviews or Google AI summaries are not an appropriate source. If you have any questions, as always, please ask me anytime. Bye-bye for now.